So we're going to go in the app and we're going to build a profile. Now I already have built a profile for this school gun. This is our left-handed gun. But what this video is about is how accurate are Hornady's ballistic coefficients. And this one's saying we got a BC of 0.326 G7. So here's what we're going to do is real quick, I'm going to double check my sight height. And that's correct, so we'll leave it. This scope tracks 0.990. One thing I want to talk about real quick when you're chewing BCs and chewing velocities, I prefer BCs. First of all, make sure you put the environmentals. I looked down range a few minutes ago. The wind is coming from the right at about 1 mile an hour, about 1.2 mile an hour. So all I'm going to do is take the firearm and we are going to put in some initial information. So when I go into the data sheet and I go under bullet, I've already selected the bullet. Let's go through it real quick. So this is the Hornady bullet, which is 140 grain, so 264, 140 grain, ELDM match 140, and it drops in a BC of 0.310. Now Hornady says that their BC is 0.326. Let's plug it in, 0.326. And I would tell you, I've been very happy with how they've done it. It's worked well. This gun was zeroed at 100 yards. So just bear with me while I get this all set up. Okay, and like I said, I've already got the environmentals, and I'm going to run it straight out to about 800 yards or so. So let me plug that in real quick. I'm going to put in 800 yards as an initial truing. I always like to true as far as I can for my initial truing, but if you've only got a 600 yard range, you use 600 yards. This range is actually 802. Bad day, 802. And let's grab the compass direction and azimuth, because you need that to make sure you've got all that information in your data. Currently 78 degrees, 3 o'clock wind. All right, it says the dial 19 and a half minutes, so we're going to go to 19 and a half minutes. I put in a velocity that this gun used to be at 2736, so let's find out. We're going to turn the Garmin on, and we're going to go through it real quick. Just bear with me, guys. This is important information for what we do for truing BCs if we need to. All right, I'm going to set the Garmin up. All right, first round. Let me set up the long range camera and I'll be right back. All right, first round going down range at 800 yards. Parallax. Target 2. And we are recording. Make sure I'm not blocking the camera. All right, level looks good. Right to left wind. We're going to push right quarter. And you can see we're low, okay? Now, velocity is 2733. Let's go ahead and get back in there. And again, okay? 2733. Level looks good. Quarter right. So right on top of the other one. All right. Velocity is 2734. So before we true anything, let's put in the actual velocity, 2734. Hit set, go back, and now it's saying 19 and a half, and I'm at now 20 and a quarter. So let's go ahead and get another bullet. All right. Same target. Quarter right. And just above the bullseye. I'm going to leave it there for initial truing. Velocity is now 2738. So go in here and put in 2738. Now this is the average velocity. All right. So what you can see is that it's still saying 19 and a half, and we're actually at 20 and a quarter. So what I'm going to do is let's verify that and make sure, because that one was a little bit hotter round than the rest by about 10 feet per second. Same target. I'm going to push right. Level's good. I mean, it's all right there. So let's true to BC. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, okay, it took us really 20.25, it says then my BC is 0.3002, and hit set and go back in, and I'm at 20.25, exactly what I'm supposed to be. All right, so let's check it out further. Let's go out to 1,002, hit set, and it says 29.5 minutes. All right. I'm gonna get the long range camera on the 1,000. I'll be right back. All right, I know it's really hard to see out there, but because we got so much fog going on out there. All right, here we go. All right, 1,000 yards, blurry target. Far right orange dot. Push right. And about half a minute. And can't see too much heat. So it looks like we're high. Get another one. And that one's just about that far left. Elevation's perfect, and that's going to be normal. Wind picked up a little bit, and velocities are about 2708. So let me kind of tell you what's going on, and what's kind of cool about Hornady is if you look at my app, which I'm going to do a screenshot and pop it up. Here we go. And you'll see that we're actually at Mach 1.264 with a ballistic coefficient of 0.2988. All right, so if you look at Hornady's website, they're going to give you this information with a 6.5 and a 140 grain ELDM match. And I again apologize for the air conditioning. So it's saying that with a bullet that's at Mach 1.75, we're going to have a BC of 0.310. At Mach 2, we're at 0.320. And at Mach 2.25, we're at 0.326. And what they're basically showing you is that the BC is changing based on your Mach number, or what your retained velocity is. Remember, we always want to true in that 15% in front of transonic. And to do that, you need to shoot it at a distance where it's going to be near that transonic zone. In this case, I just showed you that we are at 1,002 yards with a BC of 0.2988. And again, if you were to look at Hornady's website like we were just at, it's basically showing you that at Mach 1.7 or 1.75, that we're at 0.310. And we're not that far off. We're up at 0.2988 as our BC. But we're also at a lower Mach number. We're at Mach 1.2, where Hornady did it at Mach 1.7. So that's important for you guys to understand, that if you're shooting at longer ranges, you need to use a ballistic coefficient that is subject to that range you're shooting at. Remember, each gun produces its own ballistic coefficient. You can use the Hornady as a base, but you got to true your BCs to get really good accuracy. Because as you saw at the 600, the 400, 800, and 1,000 yards, our guns tracking perfectly because we were able to true our BCs. Now, yeah, we're at 0.2988 and they're at 0.310. That's not a big difference, but it is enough to make a difference at these ranges. And again, that's because this gun is producing it. If I would have stuck with the 0.326, then our shots would have been off because the solver thinks that the bullet has a higher BC than it does. Because this 7.5 twist 24-inch barrel is producing a different ballistic coefficient. So anyway, let me break this down and simplify it. Very simple. You can start off using the baseline BC from the box, or if you know you're truing near transonic, or at least 15% in front of transonic, go to Hornady's website and use the BC that's close, that 1.75 Mach number. And that's going to give you a good starting point. If you're only shooting to 500 or 600 yards period, then yeah, sure, you can run the 0.326, and it's going to probably work for you quite well. Just remember, get a good chronograph, and that way you've got real velocities, true your BCs, and you're going to be able to shoot long range. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.